the water, I'm not going to be able to retrieve any of your things back for you. And that does include your children, so please be very careful. This is Lake Shawnee. It's a man-made lake that was created before the park opened in 1967. Home to 3 of our different species here in their 5 islands that we'll get to see today. This is all part of the Species Survival Plan, SSP for short, and the general goal for all of this is that we can have our animals be happy with their matching genetic pairs and help them raise happy, healthy babies. Our first island is going to be to our right, where we have our beautiful Saurus cranes, Howard and Marion, a lovely couple.
Howard and Marion.
Saurus cranes are known to be the tallest flying birds in the world, almost standing at 6 feet tall with an 8-foot wide wingspan. And since Howard and Marion are a monogamous pair, that pretty much means that they are birds that mate for life.
Wow.
They can lay up to 3 eggs a year, and the parents take turns on incubating them, which takes around 28 to 35 days. Once the babies fully hatch from their eggs, it takes around 9 months for the parents to fully raise their babies. So pretty much after 9 months, they just take them out of the curb and hopefully they go to college.
For the iguana. Ooh, they're Iggy. Hi, Iggy.
They like to be included. Our next 2 islands to our left, we have our spider monkeys. First ones here, we have our elderlies, Jesse James, Zachary, and Shadow. Now, reasons why they are called spider monkeys is because when they were first discovered by explorers, they were mistaken to be giant spiders because of their long limbs and tail. Now, just because they're called spider monkeys doesn't mean that they shoot webs out of their butts. But they do have a prehensile tail, and that pretty much means that they can use it just like a third arm. They can grab, climb, and swing onto things with it, and it also holds up their entire body weight. So for fun, they can have their tails hold on to one of those ropes and just go for a swing. Now if you guys were to notice, at the very end of their tails, they have an extra patch of skin at the very end of it that's called a tail print. It's one of many ways how we can identify each of those spider monkeys, and it's just like us that we have our own fingerprints that identify each one of us. Now, if you guys are wondering, one of our spider monkeys is hanging out inside this little area that is called a training station. The purpose of training stations is so that our keepers can take care of the animals who's using that station, and it is open for the animals 24/7, so they can go in and out of that area as they please. And the training stations are removable for any cases of an emergency. So let's say, for example, like a hurricane, we can have all the animals placed inside of their training stations, remove them from the island, and put them somewhere safe. Now our next island to the left, I promise you guys, is not Turtle Island. It's actually our second spider monkey island, where we have our younger ones, Wisha and Slick. The turtles just are really picky and they just like that island for some reason. Now the reason why the younger ones have their own islands instead of being all together with the elderlies, it's mainly because of their age differences. So the younger ones tend to be a lot more active when they play. So that's why they have their own personal playground, as I like to put it. So that's why they don't bother the elderlies much. So all the adults here, I just gave you a wonderful solution. Just put your kids on that island with the spider monkeys and they'll make great friends with them. Do them as you wish. Yeah, they're currently inside their training stations eating their lovely food. And now the last 2 islands that we're going to pass by is where we have our Siamese. Now they do look like monkeys, but they're actually known as lesser apes. The best way you can tell them apart is that they don't have tails, but monkeys do. They're also larger, stronger, and smarter than monkeys.
Wow.
Right over here in Lion Country, we have a family of 3. We have the mother Tina, the father Onyx, and their lovely son Paul.
Hey, Paul.
You guys have to look away so we can see your face.
Tina.
Hey, Tina. Hi.
They don't like to be recognized. Now from up close, they may look cute and fluffy, but they can have up to 30 pounds of pure muscle without any body fat. It makes them very strong, but because of all that muscle, they're not really the best swimmers. So they tend to have the natural instincts to stay away from any deep bodies of water, unless it's very, very shallow. Now, if you guys were to notice in one of our Siamings, they have this inflatable pouch underneath their necks that's called a gular sac. That's how they produce their very loud whooping sounds that can go up to 2 miles. They also use that loud whooping sound as a family bonding exercise or just a way to communicate with other Siamese. The little creek spooked you out, huh? Don't worry, it's not Halloween yet. So that is going to conclude this boat tour. I hope you folks enjoyed and learned something new. While you guys are here, if you haven't visited our other animal encounters, we have our colorful Australian lorikeets, our giraffe feeding experience, and our petting zoo. So all I ask is please remain seated while we tie the boat to the dock. We'll let you folks know when it's safe to stand up. Thank you very much for stopping by, and have a good and safe rest of your day here at Lion Country Safari.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.